Hello everybody, this is Mrs. Piper. We are moving on to steps 3 and 4. And what I would like to do is review real quickly our first step. Our first step was to draw an oval, and it can be round, egg-shaped, thin, narrow. You can have a square jawline, whatever you choose. The second step was to bisect that oval, cutting it in half, and I showed you how to do that using the finger check system. So if you hold your fingers very stiff and it's the exact same on both sides, you know that you have bisected your oval. Now we're on to step 3. So let's take a look at step 3. It says, divide this line into 5 equal parts. That means you need to make 4 marks, and you'll understand what I mean by that in just a moment. The eyes are drawn on this line, and the 2 eyes are 1 eye width apart. This is your next rule. Remember, the average human face is approximately 5 eyes wide. Okay? Again, the average human face is approximately 5 eyes wide. We are not drawing manga figures. We are not drawing cartoon figures. We're drawing the natural human face. So the natural human face, the average one, is 5 eyes wide. So when I say 5 eyes wide, I need you to understand that we need to divide this line into 5 equal parts. Now, I do this by starting with the peace sign, and I straddle the center, because if you immediately put a mark in the middle, you'll end up with 6 eyes wide, and that's not good. So I do a peace sign and I average it. I kind of eyeball it, and I'm going to put a little mark here and a little mark here, and again, holding my fingers stiff, I move it over, and then I move it over. So now look, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal sections. Again, we're dividing this line into 5 equal parts. And let me zoom in so that you can see. I did that with 4 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're all approximately the same distance apart. If you find that, oh, I need to move this one over a little bit, you certainly can. That's why we make erasers, so that's fine. But when you are done, please understand that the eyes are going to be placed on this line. So let's go ahead and take a moment and draw some eyes. Your eyes will begin at one of the guidelines and move over to the other. Now, when I'm drawing eyes, I'm drawing a curvilinear line, and I'm drawing the other one at the same time in reverse so that they are symmetrical. I want them to be about the same shape and about the same size. There's a little divot on the bottom of your eye. That's where your sleep, you have to scrape your sleep out of your eye in the morning. So that's that little divot that holds it in. So I'm going to do another one on this side. So that is just an average shape of an eye. Now for this eye, I'm going to put an eyelid. This is the lid, not the eyebrow. We'll do those later. But the eyelid is the little skin that covers your eyeball. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and draw the eyeball. Now you will notice when you're looking at people, very rarely do you see the entire eyeball, right? It looks like their eyes are, if they're in shock or something, and their eyes are open really wide. But for the most part, your eyeball will go underneath the eyelid, and it will go underneath the bottom of the eye. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of the eyelashes, and then I'm going to go ahead and shade it in for the most part. I can go back and I can darken my pupils, irises. I can go in and I can highlight. So I just want to kind of block it in so that I'm seeing the whole thing as I draw. Okay? And you want to kind of make sure that they're about the same. If one is a little bit larger than the other or one is a little bit darker than the other, don't panic. It's no big deal. But you've got kind of the same shape going for you. Okay? So that brings us to the end of step 3. Again, step 3 is divide the line that bisected your face into 5 equal parts. And you do that by putting 1, 2, 3, 4 marks. Okay? Now, you will notice as we draw that there are parts of this lesson where it's going to look kind of alien, right? Because we will not have done the hair yet. And it does look strange, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. Just trust the system and follow the steps. So, we have finished step 3. And now we're going to move on to step 4. Step 4 says, make a mark halfway down from the eyes to the chin. This will mark the nose. Make a second mark 1/3 of the way down from the nose to the chin. And this will mark the mouth between the lips. Okay? So let's go ahead and mark this down. And again, I'm going to use my finger check system, right? So I could technically take my ruler and say, okay, that's almost 4 inches, so my halfway mark is going to be about 2. But I can also use my fingers, right? So if I try to put the mark here, and then I move it down, I have not reached the bottom of my chin. So I know that it needs to come down a little bit further. Now, that looks perfect. I hold it here, move it down, and that looks perfect. So that's going to be my first mark. This is going to mark my nose. Now, it said the second mark needs to be 1/3 of the way down from the nose to the chin. So if this is my nose, I need to divide this section into 3 equal parts. Well, we know that in order to divide the bisected line into 5 equal parts, we needed 4 marks, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 gives us 5 sections. So I need 2 marks to give it 3 sections. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to use my finger check again. And I'm going to say, okay, if I put a mark here and I put a mark here, that means 1, 2, 3 even sections. So I'm going to make my mark right about here. And that is going to mark the mouth. And I'm going to erase that little extra dot because you don't need it anymore. So, what have we done in the video for this section? We have done step 3 and step 4. Step 3, divide the line into 5 equal parts, using 4 marks. The eyes are drawn on this line, and the 2 eyes are 1 eye width apart. Remember the rule. The average human face is approximately 5 eyes wide. Step 4. Make a mark halfway down from the eyes to the chin, and that's going to be marking the nose. Make a second mark 1/3 of the way down from the nose to the chin, and this will mark the mouth. So, this will bring us to the conclusion. Let me zoom out so you can see, whoops. So you can see the whole head. So as you can see, we've got this large cranium up here, and that's okay. The eyes are halfway down. There's my mark for my nose and my mark for my mouth. So I'm going to pause the video. I would like for you to draw the eyes and then make the mark for the nose and the mouth. And next time we'll draw the nose and the mouth.